This video is powered by BetUS. The Chicago Bears have finally announced their entire coaching staff. Ian Cunningham completed an in-person interview in Jacksonville, and there are some rumors popping up when it comes to this year's free agency. I wanted to briefly address the names making the rounds today. Let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, here is the official 2025 Chicago Bears coaching staff. These are the offensive and defensive coaches that will be running the staff. I am just so impressed by this list of names. This really is a star-studded coaching staff with a special mix of experienced veteran coaches and some young up-and-comers. I don't know if I could be more excited for these coaches to get to work in Chicago. Ben Johnson really is ushering in a new era of Bears football. Next up is Ian Cunningham, as he was in Jacksonville today, and he completed his second interview, this time in person, for the Jacksonville GM job. A picture actually surfaced of him walking with Tony Baselli and smiling from ear to ear. We still have 3 to 5 more days until they finally decide on a GM, but Ian Cunningham has to be considered a favorite right now. This is a situation I'm going to continue to monitor, but thankfully, we should finally get our answer very soon. They have 4 more interviews to conduct, and it's unsure if they're going to have a third round of interviews or make their decision right after. But either way, they have to make the decision before next Friday. That is the NFL deadline for them to hire a GM. So they literally have just over a week to make a decision. We are going to finally find out if Ian Cunningham is returning to Chicago or taking the general manager job in Jacksonville. And then quickly, before I get into the latest rumors, I want a reminder that free agency and the NFL draft are right around the corner, and BetUS has you covered for all of the odds this offseason, such as who will be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. My money is on Cam Ward, who is my QB1 heading into this year's draft season. But check out BetUS for all your offseason betting needs. Now, let me quickly address the latest rumors. A couple of names that people are saying are linked to the Bears. First off, I want to say that nobody is actually linked to the Bears. It's lying season in the NFL, and journalists just write up guys they think the Bears could be interested in, and then everyone else just runs with the same story. I hate it. It's one of the reasons why I made this channel, and this is the time of year I make the most videos. But as always, I'm going to at least address those names for you guys in case you guys are curious. The first one going around was Nick Chubb. And as much as I've been a fan of Chubb's throughout the years, it simply does not make much sense for the Bears to sign him. He was one of the best running backs in the NFL for 4+ years. But since his major knee surgery, he has only rushed for 500 total yards combined in the last 2 seasons. On top of that, he only played in 10 total games. He will be 30 years old this season as well. In running back age, that is much older than other positions. I would say if he was fully healthy and we could sign him really cheap, then pairing DeAndre Swift with his former Georgia teammate might make for an awesome 1-2 punch. The problem is, with Chubb's age and injury history, paired with the absolutely loaded running back class in this year's draft, to me it just makes much more sense to draft a runner rather than spend money in free agency. And then the other guy that everyone is talking about is Joey Bosa, the star pass rusher from the Chargers, a guy who's a prime example of the Pro Bowl being a popularity contest. He only started 9 games this season and recorded just 5 sacks, but still made the Pro Bowl. However, Bosa is an extremely talented pass rusher. The problem is he's not a free agent. There are reports that say the Chargers could cut him this offseason, but people are really jumping the gun on this one. It's literally impossible for him to be linked to the Bears. That would be tampering at this point in the season. He is under contract with the Chargers, and they have nearly as much cap space as we do. They have over $60 million in cap space and would save a lot more if they cut Bosa, but they could also easily just restructure his deal. But the media is already speculating he will be cut. Just like last year, they did the exact same thing with Khalil Mack. The Chargers did not cut Mack. I personally don't think Bosa is going anywhere, But if he was cut, he would be an intriguing player to look into. He made 4 Pro Bowls in his first 6 seasons, and he recorded 58 sacks over that time. He is extremely talented and just turned 29 years old, and he has the potential to bounce back and be one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. But after averaging roughly 10 sacks a season early in his career, he's only recorded 14 sacks over the last 3 years, and he's only started 18 total games since 2022, dealing with multiple injuries. So for me, this one is just too far out there. First, you need the Chargers to cut him, and then he has to be fully healthy, and then finally, I'd be interested. But right now, it's purely speculation and no reason to really discuss this one further unless he actually becomes available. I'm back to work on a ton of off-season content, still going over film from the Senior Bowl, studying this year's free agent class and draft class. I've already narrowed down the Bears draft targets and have a top 10 free agent video on the way. Stay tuned, guys. Hit that like button for me. Thanks again to BetUS for sponsoring this video. And until next time, bear down.